down, man. Funny how you...
Welcome to the AARENA Podcast, and we are live in Nairobi, Kenya, with two amazing young people with me here, just to give a reflection of how the first morning session was. And I am Natalie Gwatirisa, the Climate Justice Program Associate with ALESA. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome, Hubert. So tell me, how was the session? How did you find it? What is it that really spoke to you during the session?
I think for me, what really stood out was during the Q&A session when the young people actually got to make their contributions to the panel discussion that was had. And from that, I got that democracy is a sentient thing, right? It's alive. We try to package it as this rigid thing that has to be conformed to, like very textbook-like, but it's alive. We also have to be cognizant of the fact that it's something that was handed down to us, after the end of colonial rule. And because it's something that is borrowed, we've tried so hard to adhere to what the people who gave it to us told us to do. But an amazing, brilliant young woman from Kenya said, where's the role of decoloniality in that?
Yeah.
How can we decolonize it and make it true and alive to our realities? And in that way, we make democracy alive even within our own countries and our own contexts. So that was my big takeaway.
And I love the fact that one of the speakers asked, what does democracy mean to you in your local language? And personally, I had to think of that one word, and it was kind of difficult. Not sure how rich my Shona is or how diverse my language is, but I think it really speaks to something, and we really need to bring it down to our local communities. Hubert, what's your take?
Well, my biggest take here actually relates to the way that we as a young Africans are really recognized as the leading team, I can say, for development of our continent. And for the fact that we had representatives from different category or system, and that they had a chance to address to us on the issue when it comes to democracy, us to understand the democracy that we have and how can we actually utilize it. At the same time, it's really interesting for me to see that and to understand that we as young Africans are the ones that need to take the lead and make changes in our continent and bring, and influence the change into the African leadership as well.
Okay, on that same note, as a young person, what does democracy look like? In simple terms, it might be just something that you can relate to daily.
Well, for me, as a young person, again, as a young African, democracy to me stands as the freedom to express myself and to influence change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Impressive. Interesting. And so, what does democracy mean to you?
That is such a hard question for me, Natalie, because after today,
Let's
I'm really
simplify.
rethinking everything that I've known about it. I'm thinking about what are the limitations that stop us from reinventing the wheel and saying this is what we've known it to be. Because honestly, I was one of those people in the room who was being referred to say, you think that democracy is all about elections, but it lives beyond the election cycle. So what does it look at public policy level, at governance? What does it look like within our institutions? It's so huge. But I think at this point, what I'm walking away with for me is that democracy is a system that leaves no one behind. And so we all need to have the urge to come together and say, what does that mean for us as Zimbabweans and as Africans?
And as you were speaking, I think one of the things that I've noted during the session is, as I was listening to the conversation, they've been speaking about democracy at high level, national level, the elections. Can we bring it home? Because democracy starts from home. Democracy, when you are being involved as a young person by your own parents to make certain decisions, even in just choosing your own school, where to go. So I think that's where democracy starts from, and not even just from the electoral processes. So I think this is it. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Flying